Okay, good afternoon, everyone. So welcome back to the Global Citizenship class by Professor Sean Watt. So today we are going to have a makeup class of week 6, which is about education for the challenge and pioneering. So we are supposed to review our previous lessons in the week 1 to week 5. And in this week, so we will also have the presentation of job group for the project. And we also have prepared for the week 7 next week, which is about sharing the project outline. So before I come back to review our previous lesson, so do you guys have any questions?
No.
Okay, so make sure you guys understand what we're going to have today. So, Lee Min-gyu, can you help me to repeat what we're gonna have? We're gonna cover today. So this is week 6. So what we are going to do? So the main part of week 6.
Maybe survey plan.
So we have Professor Sean. So good afternoon, Professor Sean. He's not ready. Okay. So correct. So we're going to supposed to have the project presentation of sharing the survey plans. Before going to the presentation, so I would like to go back to our previous lessons. So if you guys want to present, so please sign up and to tell me the name, and later after introducing about the previous lesson, which is about how to write the paper and also grant. So I can make you as a co-host and you can start the presentation.
If students do want to sign up on their own, fine. But if students don't sign up quickly, we will be assigning a sign-up role or a presentation role for students. So be aware of that.
Yes, Professor. So in the sign up here, so I actually put the group in the order here. So if you want to volunteer to present, I can make you as a co-host. Otherwise, we will follow this order.
Professor, this mic is turned off. We cannot hear what Professor Watts is saying.
What is the question?
Before we start our survey plan presentation, we want to
Yes.
present about our weekly project first. Will that be okay?
You want to present the weekly presentation?
Yes.
Okay, sure. So you want to go first before I review how we can write the paper and the grants?
Hi. Since the class is kind of short and just once a week, I think it would be a good idea for us just to go through the idea of what is surveying designed for, how we can do proper surveying so that it is effective, number one, but not just for the research purposes, effective also for the students' careers and personal development. So are there any students that are ready to present today already? Have you found that, Ms. Thuong?
Yes, so I see group 2, so they want to present the weekly topic first, and as she just asked for the permission. And then she also, her group also gonna present the survey plan today as well.
Okay, let's go ahead and start.
Yes, so I'm gonna make group 2 to present the weekly topic first.
Thank you.
Okay, Suhan, so you are the co-host now. You're able to present or share the screen now.
So good afternoon, everyone. We are Group 2, Kana Kim, Soyan Kim, and Yunseok Kim. Today, we're going to discuss about diversity and understanding of global cultures. The keywords of today's contents is culture, understanding, religion, traditional food, foods, greeting, and history. The contents of today is we're gonna discuss about the difference of greetings, foods, and international codes. At this time, we will try to compare the way of greeting different countries' food culture and traditional foods and learn how to adopt different cultures. Since we are students of international business, it is important to know the different cultures and adopt it. In the way of greeting, we will try to look at differences in formal and informal situations using Southeast Asian countries. On the part of countries' food, we will use Hindus to explain why they do not eat meat. Last but not the least, we will learn the meaning of hijabs, which is Muslim women's clothes.
Today, I will be introducing the greeting culture between different nations. To you. There are lots of different methods, language, methods, and meaning in greeting. And I will be introducing Southeast Asian countries and how they are differ in formal and informal situations. There is the casual Western handshake, which is commonly used nowadays in stretch in the Southeast countries. The handover heart greeting seen in lots of countries that are predominantly Muslim but has no faith meaning to it. And press palms and a bow is where you put your right hand over your heart, which is commonly used in Thailand, Myanmar, Laos, and Cambodia. And lastly, mano is one of traditional greeting used in Philippines. It means give respect to senior. They are different how to greeting, and it can difference depends on their nations and cultures. When you attach for the first time, you can think weird and awkward, but their meaning is the same, so I hope you understand without bias.
Now we will gonna discuss about international clothes. In Muslim culture, women wear hijabs. A hijab is not just a piece of clothes, but more meaningful, religiously related. In France, people under the age of 18 voted to ban hijabs. Against this, Muslim women talk about why they should and should not wear hijabs. China Alama said that hijab is a part of her identity as a black Muslim woman and that she wears it proudly. Munajama said that true beauty is defined by their actions toward each other and should not be measured by what they wear. Opinions are divided on hijab like this, but that doesn't mean it's right or wrong. It is the country's unique culture and needs to be respected in other cultures.
Food cultures can be defined as the attitudes, beliefs, and practice that surrounds the production and consumption of food. Food culture incorporates our ethnicity, cultural heritage, and provide a mechanism of communication with others both externally and within our family and communities. To date, many influential religious leaders from both Judaism and Islam have attempted to provide answers to the question of why both these religions prohibit eating pork. The most straightforward answer is that the Lord has prohibited the eating of pork and all unclear meat, including unclear fish, birds, mammals, and other creatures. Followers of Judaism and Islam respectively must eat only kosher or halal food. Prohibition on eating unclean food are written in the Torah and in the Quran.
The conclusion is from this lecture, students can learn the difference and meaning of other cultures. This will help us to become global citizens, since we can understand and adopt the different cultures. The message that we want to give from this lecture is even there is a difference, we should not blame or judge other people by that. There is no right and wrong in the culture, but always respect.
So this is the reference of our PPT. And this is the end of our presentation. And we want to ask if you guys have any questions.
Thank you. Congratulations. Can you keep your slide on the references for a little bit longer so I can see the details of the references? Thanks. And I would like you guys, now that you've presented, to try to check your message was understood by your classmates. So everybody can speak, but whether you are actually communicating well is another thing. So try to check what other people understood you were trying to say, what was your message, and then check what your classmates suggest are possible changes you can consider. Okay? Try to manage that yourselves for the next like 30 seconds or a minute. You have several people in the group, so one person presented quite a bit. Make sure your other group members are active and asking specific details to the class. So you can stay
Professor,
quiet.
Professor,
Yes.
can you tell us one more time because we didn't hear what you said properly? There was a little bit noise.
Please try to ask your classmates if they understood your main message. And ask your classmates what are some ideas your classmates suggest you can consider for changing. So you said something, make sure the other listeners understood what your main message was. So just randomly go through the list of participants, pick one and ask. For example, Juna Kwang, Kwan Junha, what do you think was the main message?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, what is the question?
Tuan, can you help make sure the students go through and get some feedback?
Yes. So group two, so you just presented the weekly presentation, right? So make sure everybody understood what you just presented. Can you pick
Just
one?
go ahead and pick a student. Pick 3 students. The presenters were supposed to, but they're going shy. So just step up and pick 3 students and require them to comment about the presentation and then offer 3 ideas for possible change.
Okay, so I'm gonna pick.
Presentation
so-
before we run out of time.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pick Lee Min Gyu. So you're the first commenter, and also Junha the second one, and Judam Jong is the third person. Min Gyu, Junha, and Judam. So you just listen to group two presenting about their topic. So please ask, give 3 questions or recommend for them.
3 questions or my opinion?
The opinions and also the questions as well, if you have. So at least 3.
I agree with Team 2 opinion, like diversity of culture. And I want to ask like reference that is reliable scopus, but I think that is not reliable scopus. And that is my question.
So group 2, so did you get his question? So are you able to answer his question?
For us, we did not really get source from corpus, but we want to tell people like how we think. So we add more about our personal opinion.
Okay, I go to Judam.
Okay, I have a question. Like Taliban, there is something they are reluctant to accept the culture. And even in this case, will you take on acceptance posture in this case?
Actually, this is very sensitive to answer because like there is a little bit problem between that part. But for me, I think we do not have to accept at that part since Taliban not respect other cultures. Yeah, other cultures. Is that enough answer for you?
Yes, thank you.
So we have let's have one more question.
I have no question, but I'm very interested because the way of greeting is very useful for me.
So group 2, are you getting something she just said? I'm not sure I get her speaks clearly.
I did not understand actually.
Professor Sean, because you are muted now. Okay, Teshan, so group 2 is not clear what you just comment you just said. So could you repeat that one more time quickly?
The way of greeting is very useful for me.
Sorry, but we cannot hear what she's saying clearly.
Okay, so maybe her connection is not very good. So that was the weekly topic of the presentation. So you also said that the group is gonna share the survey plan today, group 2. So you want to present the survey plans as well?
Sure, we can do it now.
Yes. You can move on to the survey plans, and other classmates and so Professor Sean can have a more recommendation or comments for the group's project.
So we will start our presentation about our survey plan. The contents of this presentation is survey motivation, survey target, and survey deadline. The purpose of this survey is to let people know the problem of water shortage, and not only in Somalia, but other country either. We will also ask people if they are trying to save water for the future. The target of this survey is international business students, international relations students, Professor Sean Watts, and our teaching assistant. The deadline of this survey will be October 6, Wednesday, until October 8, 11:59 p.m. This is the form that we plan for our survey. And there is a 4 question that people should answer. So this is the plan of our survey. And if you guys have any question, please let me know.
Okay, so you should pick 3 classmates for giving comments and questions.
We want to ask to Jung Yu Jung.
So Jung Woo Jung, you are the first commenter, and who else?
People need to be active with the participation. If you want the attendance and participation points, make sure you help the group develop.
Yeah, can you give me the right, no. Do you know a lot about water shortage?
We do not know a lot about water shortage problem, but we are trying to know the problem of water shortage and let other people know about this problem also. Is this enough answer?
I think everybody, first of all, needs to understand that the first parts of our project are combined with this. We're supposed to start with the introduction, which is showing the importance, and then we get into the background literature that shows what other world experts are saying and be very clear about what other people are saying and try to identify what they haven't been researching. So you are teaching the world something new, and that explains itself in itself. As you guys all saw with the class outline files, when you develop your projects for class, you should be trying to interact with some organization outside the class, potentially employers. So when you find 10 different reliable references or articles that you're using, you should be understanding that each one is worth $50. That's at least $500 or $1,000 or several $1,000s if you tailor your report for that company. And then just giving those information, those reports to a company is worth several $1,000s alone. If you try to upgrade it and solve a problem for the organization, for example, if this group creates some potential solution for water if this group provides some solution, possible solution for water shortages in a certain area, then that not only will be possibly given to the government in that area, but it can be published because of your reliable information alone. Again, you need to have several reliable references. Each one is worth $50. You can get that exclusively being a university student with access to the library. So give that information to the company or the organization or the government you're trying to write for, and then try to bring all of that information together to show you can teach something new that other people haven't been talking about. So in your research, you're talking about surveying for water shortages. Why? What is the importance of this topic? specifically, not just about how, there's not enough water, but where and why, and what are you teaching the world something new? That's the first question you need to answer on your own. The second question is, are you teaching some organization something clearly? And they should be basically the same answer. That first question and the second question should be basically the same. And then, are you reliable? Have you, in your references, for example, shown 10 good, reliable, world's best, world's most reliable sources of information? Okay. Do you guys remember during the very first class how I introduced how students in the past, they did this for an organization, and just by showing these articles in the background literature when they were pretending to survey executives, those executives were so impressed, the executives hired them as interns to continue developing. And then the paper was continuously developed in the class. And at the end of the class, the company offered a job to the students. So are you planning to do the class project wisely like that? Are you planning to start asking students questions, number one, to learn what is good, what is bad, and your classmates, you've already started to show them, has the classmates given you feedback? For example, in your survey, you have yes, no questions. Yes, no questions are not really good, especially in East Asia, when a lot of people are kind of afraid to tell you no because they don't want to hurt your feelings. So you should be using a Likert scale. For example, identify your level of interest. Is it 1, very low interest, or 3, which is a neutral interest, or 5, which is a very high interest? And try to use open-ended questions. And develop that with your classmates, develop that and perfect it with other students around you, so that when you finish surveying classmates and other students, and you have many reliable references, then you are a specialist and you can go talk to those other organizations. Good. Everything I just said could be used for everyone presenting. Who's the next person presenting?
Would it be okay for our group to present our survey plans?
Oh, sorry, I submitted. Yes, I'm trying to
I can
find
hear
you. Yun Lee, right? Yes, so you're the co-host now.
Today, our group will present the survey plans of our project. Before we start, our group's topic is increasing employee loyalty in the virtual environment. The members of our group are Bonjuna, Contagion, and Idia. First, let's look at the table of contents. We will present the purpose of our survey, target population, a list of questions for the survey, and the overall survey plans. The purpose of our survey is to find a correlation between the virtual working environment and the loyalty of employees. Concerning our group's topic, which is increasing employee loyalty in virtual working environment, and what types of referral or group programs of companies satisfy the employers.
Next, the target population of our survey is workers over the age of 20. This is because we needed research from participants who have experience in working in both virtual and normal workplace environments, or at least one of them. Also, it would be better to have participants from diverse age groups. The age of the participants might affect the research, such as the younger generation who are relatively closer to the new technology, then the older generation might feel that the virtual working environment is more convenient. However, the older generation might find the virtual environment a hard task. So for a better research, our group will try to get research from various ages.
Next, these are the lists of our questions. Which field do you work in? Which welfare do you prefer? And have you ever worked in virtual environments? And etc. Among this list of questions, we will select 5 to 6 questions and apply them to our real survey. It would be better if we could put all of the questions, but for higher participation, we thought that too many questions would make people feel harder to answer. Now, the survey plans of our group are like this. First, we found the purpose of our survey and chose the target group. Then we wrote down a list of questions that could be used. Next, we will pick out questions for the real survey and then conduct the survey, which our group is thinking to do through the SNS. And are there any questions or tips for our groups? If there is not, can I pick someone who can give us their opinion? Would it be okay?
Just go ahead and pick some of classmates here.
Okay, then can Yudam Jung give us any opinion or tips?
Thank you for managing the class and getting students to help you understand. It's much better than just being a dictator and talking and then walking away. Thank you. Good. Please continue.
I have a comment, not a question. It was good to see the step of the survey. It was really good to see and understand.
Are there any questions or things you can give us to help us?
In Korea, with classes taught in English, many Korean students don't say anything for general questions. So to be a good global citizen, we need to adapt to the situation. You need to ask specific students. So call out 3 students' names, get 3 different students to give you comments that can be used as evaluation, perhaps with marks, and try to identify 3 ways that you could change to get better. Because remember, right now, it's just practice. Everybody has very generous marks, but you're getting together a lot of material to ultimately be a specialist when you're interacting with other people. You start surveying classmates, you start then going into other students, but you should be talking with executives ultimately. So make sure you're perfectly prepared. Go ahead.
So can Im Min-gyu and Jung Yu-jung tell us any?
I think before team 2 has 2 few targets, but your team has a variety of targets, like 20 or 60 is variety of target. I'm interested in that point. Yeah, but I don't have question. Yeah, that is my comment.
Thank you for your comment.
So if you don't have any other questions, so can you give them the mark? So the maximum price today of week 6 is 10. How would you evaluate the presentation out of 10 points? Lee Min-gyu. So can you evaluate the presentation of group 1? So maximum price of this week is 10 points. So how many points would you give them out of 10?
Survey plan, this team.
Yes. For the survey plan.
I think 8 or 9. Yeah. 8? 8 or 9.
Okay.
It's
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so group 1, so would you like to get one more member of the class for evaluating and giving you more comments?
Can Jung Yu-jung tell us any opinions?
Um, 9 out of 10, this presentation.
So can you give them the comments? Why you would like to give them 9 out of 10? So to give them any comments. So the comments are very meaningful for them to revise the survey plans or anything for the presentation. So that also helps the group as well. Any ideas? Okay, maybe she
Sorry, I have a little technical problem, so I didn't well.
Okay.
Can I
Yeah, sure.
comment?
Sure, Mindy.
Before
Go
I
ahead.
said, because I give a 8 or 9 because I think there will be difficulties in finding the targets because there will be bad things about being selected for too many age groups, like maybe 6 ages. Yeah, that is my lose 1 or 2 points. Yeah, that's my opinion.
Thank you for the opinions. And
Okay.
Is there
Thank
another
you so
person
much.
ready to present? If we already have enough, each
Do you want
group
to?
needs to get some feedback and get marks from the students' class. It's 10 marks, right? So let's go through. We need to go through the whole class so that we can understand everything, and then everybody can talk about how you can develop going forward.
Yes, so we
Make
have
sure
one more
each group
group.
knows how to get the marks themselves from their classmates. Practice that as the global citizen.
Professor, we want to present now.
Okay, great. Why are you waiting? Go ahead.
Give a host. Okay.
Okay.
Names.
Hello, this is Mingyu Lee and Yu Zhang and Yu Dam. Our topic is with Iceland's gender pay gap success. Can the same happen in East Asia? And now we are going to make the survey about the topic. The survey period will be continued from week 7 to week 8. What we go what we are going to ask are 3 things that will have some following question too. You could see the questions through the image. Please see the picture. And we will continue to version of survey. One is for foreign students of Gammon University, and the other one is for students of Daegu. We are going to ask not only Gammel University and also other Daegu University's students. There are 3 big reasons of this selection.
First, one is for knowing differences of those between foreign and Korean from the gender pay gap. The second one is for finding new solution and opinion of the problems. Lastly, for apprehending prevent condition of gender pay gap, knowledge could be the reason. And then let's see how can we interview those people. At first, we are going to make some Google form like above slide, and then we will go to the international lounge of Shinbao Hall for meeting foreign students. We will ask those questions. And plus, we would like to use the app every time. In this app, we could meet Gammon University students in anonymous, so we could give them our URL of Google Form.
Finally, we will connect our friends who are studying in other university or school for spreading the form. They can also spread the URL through the Everytime app for asking their university students. And these 2 survey versions could help us to know the problems of our solutions. In addition, we could know fresh opinion of the problems and solutions through other students. Do anyone have something to supplement? Please give us some advice. Jin Lee, do you have any question or giving some advice?
I don't have any questions, but my opinion is that I like that your group wanted to get survey results from people, from foreign peoples too, because I never thought that we could also get results from other people from other countries. So I like that thought.
Thank you. Anyone else?
So June Lee, so we just give them comments. So besides giving them comments, so please also evaluate the presentation by giving them score out of 10 points.
I think I would like to give them 10.
Okay, thank you so much. And the group also want to get some other students, at least 2 more students, to give new comments and any ideas to improve the survey plan.
I don't see a lot of congratulations or comments anymore. Make sure when you're finished, you specifically get your evaluation, check your understanding, and get some comments for how you can improve before you finish a presentation that you might publish and interact with some executive you want to work with. Tuong, is there a reason things are going quiet, or is the...
So the group H only get 1 commenter, so please ask 2 more people.
Here are that 2 more people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Junha, so I see Junha and also other members here.
Lee Jiun is already comment to us, but Anjuna is not respond to our comment.
So, okay, so how about any ideas or any concerns you guys have, but you're not sure how to do that for improving the survey plans? Anything you concerns from the group members or from you? Okay, so can I have a questions?
Yeah.
So I saw you already have the questions in the survey.
Yeah.
So you said that they're gonna make online form and then you interview the people offline, right? You go to the international lounge hall for interviewing the participants.
That could be a one way to make a survey, but we will connect them in the international lounge, and we will ask for helping about could you do this survey like this.
So they're gonna give them the surveys and they should fill in the form for you, or you interview them and you fill in the form.
I think both could be the way, but interview will not be effectively because of COVID-19 and first met people. So, yep, we will use online Google Form better than
Okay,
yeah.
I got it. So I saw you have questions already. So how could you come up with those questions? Your group have the questions already in the Google form, but I'm wondering how you guys have those questions. So you do that. You have the question, you come up the question by the group, by yourself, or you pick the questions from the other resources.
Yesterday we met in offline. Yesterday we met offline. So we talked about the topic and something of wondering because the GANHRI is not a popular institution. So we would like to ask about, do you know this institution and so on. So yeah, this is our group's questions. And we make this question to survey questions.
Okay, that's good.
And we focused on wage gap on introduction. So we divided a lot of type like gender and position, employment type, career. It divided wage divided the fact to age gap. So yeah, this is our Google Form evaluation.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, so I have so if you want to have a reliable question, so you can use and you can adopt the question from the previous studies in the scope of paper. So actually you have it in the literature review, right? You read some Scopus journals, the papers in that journal, so you can consider the questions in that papers. Okay, I think so. We don't have any other groups presenting today, right?
Yes.
Yes. So I would like Professor Sean.
Yes.
Because we don't have any more presenter today, so would you like to have
Can you go
anything you want to
through
share?
the presentation and talk about how the students need to have the Scopus references and how they should be able to present for company executives? This whole idea, I can show you details on my screen if you I sent you the links earlier. Can you get those students to go through those details and make sure they understand?
Yes. So this is the PPT for guiding how to write the paper and also grants. So basically, you will know how to design the paper first. So this is the guideline we go through from the abstract introduction. You went through in week 3 and a literature review already. So it's good for you. You can go to the scope journal and you can find the paper which is relevant to the topic, and you can replicate the style and the format. Here, for example, you can go to here. So you can go to the scimagojr.com. You can find the scope journal. So in the previous lesson, Professor Sean already introduced this link. So you can find very reliable papers for you to replicate. Lee Min-gyu, did you or the group check any reliable papers in this website, in this link?
No, not yet.
Okay, so if you want to get at least 10 reliable papers for the reference, so you need to go in this link and check the quality of the paper to see whether it is Q4 up to Q1 paper or not.
Yeah.
And then you go to the journal and find the paper you can replicate that format. And for the report, you also need to plan to write the paper at least from 7 to 14 or 27 pages. So you can get a bonus if you have the application, the grant application for the project. And this is a guideline. You can see how to write the grant application here. Do you have any question about the grant application?
No, not yet. I will try.
Any of you want to write the grant application for the project? The group I see today we have group 8, group 2, and so group 1. Any of you have idea to or any intent to write the application for the grants? Okay, so if you don't have any intention to write the grant application, so that's also okay. But if you have the application for the grant, so you can get more bonus for the project. Yeah, so now I would like to go to how to survey. Yeah, so in the outline, the class outline here, I also attached the link of how to survey. Have you checked that link yet? Lee Min-gyu, did you check the link yet?
Hi guys.
Did you check this link yet? Any of you? So I attached the link here, how to survey. So this is a guideline actually in here. So you can read the notes how we can interview the executives of the company and how you can approach and interview the very high position of the company. Yes, Professor Sean, I should you say something?
That file that you're looking at now, everybody has that in the student requirements file. I believe it's on the 3rd slide, and that provides a lot of information. It shows what are good questions, how you shouldn't be asking off-topic questions, how you should be trying to get other people to talk as much as possible. Everyone has it. It's at the top of the file. We don't need to go back and explain it. The class requirements, everybody should have every day. If we just stay on that folder, I can show you with my screen if you like.
Yes, please.
So that whole idea of in our class requirements, which is the class requirements, you go to the 3rd slide and it shows the class requirements link and how to write the papers and grants, and there's serving information in there. Then there's a lot more information if you're still vague about it. There's a perfect example of how you can develop your project. And then even this link and this link provides a lot more information. So if we go into it, the general idea for any research project is to go through these details. And we've already gone through the introduction and the background. Now we're getting ready for the methods, but these methods are designed for you guys to be thinking of how you can interact with another company you'd like to work with. So you start by surveying people in your class, then you can expand after you have improved the questions to talk to other students. And ultimately, after you have a lot of references from what the other key writers say, which is you have a lot of background literature that's very valuable, you can go ahead and give that information to a company executive. So just the whole idea of getting valuable research reports and just handing the research reports over to an executive, that alone is valuable. If you summarize them into a PPT, it should be even better. If you put it into a written format, like 1 page for the intro, 1 page for the background literature, and then information about how you're surveying people, that's the professional format. And the companies should like it. This example where the students replicated a top quality research paper and kept the same style and format, the same abstract, the same keywords, the same type of introduction, but they changed it from general project into Korea or a company in Korea, it's ideal. So ultimately you can go through and start talking to company executives immediately, right now. And by showing that valuable information and asking if they want something more or tailored further, that is an internship. And then at the end of the semester, they like it, you get a job. So that's the idea. Don't just make yes/no questions. Yes/no questions are not going to impress this person. They're not going to teach this person very much. Make sure everything you're doing is to become a specialist. Start by learning what the other world specialists are saying about your topic, and identify where there's a lack, where something has not been studied, and teach that new thing to the company. Is that clear? If you have more questions, again, on slide 3, you can go into the next file, which has the more information, research and grants. That's this file. And again, all of these provide lots of information. It goes through, I can make this a little bit bigger. It shows you exactly what I was just talking about, how the format should be. This one, the slide number 7, talks about how you should be doing the methodology and how you should reference top quality information, where you can get the top quality information from, and then how you can find it in the articles, find it in the libraries and check its top quality. And exactly
how exactly a project or a paper could look. You don't have to, but if you do go through the grant application details that almost every big multinational company has, it's basically a short text message, 400 words. You could be getting yourself an extra SAO or ship SAO, 300,000 to $1.3 million to be a specialist. And if you want more information about how to write a paper, again, slide 3 talks about even more about that. And it goes through and it's talking about in here, slide 37, how to write the paper specifically. What to put in the title, what to put in the abstract, or the keywords, the introduction, the background literature, the methods, the results. A lot of people have questions about the methods, so it's explained in detail here. And then there's even more information here. What exactly you can do with an outline, what type of paper you can do. Overall, what type of paper should replicate something that's already developed and respected. What to do in an abstract, keywords, introduction, the research methodology, results, discussion. It's explained in depth here. If anybody has questions, let me know. It goes on. For example, that next one is talking about this, and it still goes on to talk about how to survey details. And at the end of this file, it shows perfect examples. It doesn't have to be hard. This is a good one. Let me just show you. This is published good papers that students replicated the same format, how they can present it at conferences to meet not only their respected employer, but others similar, and how to reference properly, where to get the good references from, how to identify what journals are respected or not. And inside here, it shows the Q3 and Q4 top students may want to start focusing on this area, because if you reference journals that are at an easy introductory level, but yet they're respected, you could publish your paper in it. And although I've only been at this university for a year, some of the students that have done this have already published in good journals. They've got their paper accepted by good journals. That changes your resume. So let me know if you have any other questions about how to do this. The idea of how to survey details, like there's 50 pages of information. There's too much information if you want. How to write the grant application. What are good questions to ask? Any questions from anybody, since I just showed you lots of info? I guess it's Yi Jiun and Guan Junha. You guys are the last ones. Any questions from you guys?
I don't think I have any questions.
Okay. Thanks for presenting today. Thanks for participating.
So I just want to say that it's good for you to have to get the hands on doing the research, and you need to know what is good for you in the future. So if you want to work in the future, definitely. So you should get any topic related to the companies, and that's helpful for you and also for the company.